Hello, welcome to Choco Millionaire. I like to talk about the 3 top cities, in my opinion, based on what I know. In Ontario, the provincial capital of Canada, where you can easily pass your highway test as a newcomer. Newcomer is somebody who is brand new, never been to Canada, probably from a developing country, or maybe from another country where the standards or things are done a little bit different. Now, you may have come here with a foreign driving license which cannot be exchanged for an Ontario or a Canadian driving license. There are many of you from other countries in Europe or Asia where your license or your driver's license are held in high regard, and so therefore you are able to come here with those licenses and swap them for a Canadian one without having to take the road test. This video is for people who are not able to swap their license, like somebody like me from Ghana that may have come a Ghanaian driver license with some experience on it, but then I'm not allowed to swap it. Meaning you cannot just walk in and exchange it and then they will allow you and give you a Canadian one and say, go ahead and go drive right away. Some of us, we have to actually go through like a proper road test here in Ontario and be examined by a licensed driving, examiner from the Ministry of Transportation who will assess your driving skills and then clear you. Now, here is the shocking statistics. According to Choco Millionaire. Not according to anyone, according to me from experience. 90% of newcomers from developing countries who come here with a foreign driving license with their letter of experience, or what some people call the authentication letter or driver's abstract, which basically proves that they have these number of years, preferably minimum 2 years of experience, foreign driving experience from a developing country. Such people are often cleared after taking or passing their knowledge test behind a computer. Such people are often cleared and given a pass to go on, or given a permission to go on and take their highway test. In Ontario, our highway test is called G license test or G road test. A G road test, G as in G for like gold, but that's not what it means, by the way, just G. All right. G is like the final license for anybody who drives a regular vehicle. It is a license given to you when you are examined on driving on a highway, and then you pass and then they give it to you. 90% of newcomers from developing countries will fail the road test when they go for the G, when they attempt it. Now remember, you can only attempt it once as a newcomer from a developing country or from a country where you have been cleared to take it. So if you are from, say, Ghana, and you came here with your Ghanaian local driver's license and you have a minimum of 2 years on it, and you bring it here with your letter of experience from the DVLA, or if you're from Nigeria, your Road Safety Commission, and then you give it to them, and then it said, okay, because of your foreign driving experience and your valid driver's license that you came with, not expired, you must come with a valid driver's license, we will give you the clearance to proceed to take your highway test whenever you want to. I want you to note, you can only attempt that highway test once. If you miss it or if you fail, they will drop you to what we call G2. And G2 is also a type of road test where you get examined to take your road test on a main road and in a residential area without going on a highway. The examiner examines your driving in residential areas or communities that are not too busy. And then they examine your driving on a main road, traffic light, blah, blah, blah. And then when you pass, you are allowed to drive by yourself independently. The only problem is that it is still not your highway license. Now, the reason why I'm emphasizing this is that the G license is so critical to a lot of us, many of us. International students, hear me well, oh. Newcomers, hear me well, oh. This advice I'm giving you with this face that you people will think I'm angry all the time. It's called the advice of a man who is giving you experiences that have been tacked together, experiences from life here. Do you know that your G license in Ontario can open unlimited doors for you? There are some jobs you can never get without having a driver's license. There are also some jobs that will not even fit into your own schedule as an international student because of your classes. Some of you have classes that are scattered all throughout the day in the week. There is no room for you to even go and do a job or take on another job in the daytime. So if you fall into this category, your timetables are scattered all over. Monday you have class all the way into the afternoon. Then the professors let you go around 4 p.m., 5 p.m. when the day is almost done. Tuesday you have class. Thursday you have class. The whole day you are busy. The times that you are free is at night. And maybe you live in cities where you cannot find jobs. Your driver's license, the G license in Ontario, might just be your savior. Why? With your G license, you can easily do what we call side hustles, like Skip the Dish. Skip the Dish is a company. It's an app that allows you to go to restaurants and pick up food orders and deliveries and then go and give it to people who have ordered them. There is also Uber Eats. There is also DoorDash. There is also Instacart. There are so many of them. When you come here, you soon find that most international students, especially Indians, the number one job that they do is skip the dish. And there is a reason why. Skip the dish, they go PayPal. What it means is that as these Indians are working the unlimited hours there, they know it will not go into the system for them to be flagged as doing more than 20 hours of a job and blah, blah, blah. So these guys will literally work and work and work on days that they don't have classes and just be doing skip the dish. And some of them are able to make about $200 per day, which goes a long way to help them to pay some of their school fees and their rent. But wait a minute. Without you coming with your foreign driver license, to come here and quickly, within your first few weeks, take that highway test and pass it, how are you going to be able to drive in Ontario or whichever part of Canada you are in? How are you going to be able to drive? Some of you are coming with the international driver's license. Bone that thing. International driver's license, bone it. Bone it means dog it. You can only use it temporarily. It's not a license you can use to do any serious thing here in this country. The most important license is your local license, which has not expired, with at least 2 years of driving experience. Listen. I am telling you from experience that if you present 10 newcomers who have more than 2 years of driving experience from Africa, at least Africa, India, Pakistan, name these developing countries, and they've been driving for more than 2 years in their home countries, and you take them on a highway test here in Ontario, 9 out of the 10 will fail. Do you know what that means? The pass rate is about 10%. Failure rate, 90%. But I just told you, you can only attempt it once, isn't it? So if you don't pass it, how quick are you able to quickly go and recover yourself and quickly go and do the test again? And remember, if you're going to redo it, you don't go back for the G. They drop you to G2. It is only when you pass your G2 that they can clear you to go back for your G, which is all money. Why money? Money to book the test, money to get an instructor, and a qualified person to retrain you. And so therefore, having wasted your time by talking plenty so that you accuse me of being a talkative, I know I've used this opportunity to explain myself. These are the top 3 cities if you live in Ontario, especially in the southern part of Ontario, you want to be targeting if you want to take your highway test. Number 1, Orangeville. The spelling of orange and ville, V-I-L-L-E, all together, no space. Somebody will write it down. Orangeville. Orangeville is a very, very small town outside of the big cities in the GTA. And it's one of the places you can easily pass your road test. Don't ask me why. All I know is that the pass rate in those areas, super easy. All right, I just told you, don't ask me why, but let me tell you. Their highways there are not too busy as the ones in Toronto, Brampton. Have you seen me drive to Toronto, driving and making my vlogs? Have you seen how busy their road networks are? Super busy, isn't it? 3 lanes, 4 lanes, Everybody's whipping, passing you like that. And you, from Igobeta Republic, you say you can't show, say you be driver for here. Come, you go fail am. If you don't fail it, God bless you among the 10%. Orangeville in Ontario is one of the places you can easily pass your road test. I've seen terrible drivers who went there and they passed, and they themselves, they were surprised they passed. It doesn't mean the officials don't do their job. The pressure there is far less. The roads there are not busy. The speed limit is probably also lower than the speed limit on the Queen Elizabeth highways and 401s and 403s and 400 series. So Orangeville, check it out. If it's not too far from where you live, if it's not more than 1 or 2 hours away from you, you could definitely consider Orangeville. So what you do is that when you go and the officials at the drive test center tells you, hey sir, hey madam, you are free to book your highway test whenever you want to. Tell them you would like to pick Orangeville if there are spots available for you to pick. If you feel you are not ready, at least go online whenever you are ready and choose by going to drivetest.ca, not drivingtest.ca. I know you won't listen. You end up on drivingtest.ca, which is somebody's private website. I'm giving you the official website, www.drivetest.ca. Number 2, Lindsay, Ontario. Lindsay is about 3.5 hours from Niagara. Lindsay is about roughly 1.5 to 2 hours from the Toronto area. I have been there. I took a bunch of people there, a Zimbabwean, a Filipino friend, and a group of other people. And me, myself, I was surprised at the ease with which they were passing their road test. The community there is so quiet, not too busy. The testing area is so relaxed. No, the examiners are mostly friendly, not all of them, but mostly friendly, and the ambience, the road is busy, not busy, Surprisingly, their highway there, the speed limit is 80 kilometers. Oh my goodness, 80 kilometers. If you do your road test in St. Catharines, which is the area we do our road test in Niagara, the speed limit is 110 kilometers as we speak right now. And even with that, you find that 99% of drivers are not doing 110. They are flying 120, 130, 120 past you. So when we step on those roads here in the busy areas, all you get is pressure and blood pressure. Especially if you have not practiced and practiced and practiced. You come out and they will tell you failed. And you'll be wondering whether you are just learning how to drive. No, it's the system and the pressure on the road. Lindsay, Ontario, spelled Lindsay. L for Lima, I for India, N for Nancy, D for Delta, S for Sam, A for Africa, Y for yellow. Lindsay in Ontario, population less than 30,000, good spot to have your road test. Highway 80 kilometers, mostly one lane highway. Just imagine that, one lane, simple, no pressure. Even if the worst you will get will be a 2-lane, chain lane here, chain lane back, chain lane here, chain lane back. You come to St. Catharines, you are getting 3 lanes, busy flying. You have people like Paul Walker on that road, the late Paul Walker flying past you. They do say they was speeding race. Right? Lindsay, Ontario. The third place is, in fact, all the people I took to Lindsay, everybody passed their road test. The Filipino guy, oh my God, his driving was so bad. His driving was so bad. I did my best to polish him up, and then eventually he passed the road test there. But wait a minute, we had to leave St. Catharines, right, Niagara, for 3.5 hours just to go and pass the road test there. Why didn't we do in Niagara? Niagara was failing people, man. You go and then it's like almost everybody who is going is failing. Almost everybody who is going was just failing. It was at a time like, almost everybody was going for the test was failing. So man, the Filipino guy said, bro, I desperately need this license. I ain't going to fail, man. I don't want to fail. Take me anywhere that you think I can pass. I said, all right. It's going to take us 3.5 hours to go from Niagara. Another 3.5 hours to go. If you can afford the gas and the time, I'm going to take you there. And we went there. We got the job done. We went very early in the morning. Yours truly, I surveyed the area, monitored the examiners, monitored the road. I didn't even know the place well. I had to quickly just quietly follow the examiners by staying back, watching where they were going. And it just took me an hour or two to figure out all the road. I saw that Filipino guy in the car, said, let's go. And then he got a job done. He passed. The way he hugged me that day, yeah. He said, man, you are the best. You are the best. Oh, Chaco, if you are not married, I would have given you a Filipino wife. I said, yeah, I'm married. All right. The third place is called Smithville. Smithville, the spelling of Smith as in Will Smith. And then Ville, V-I-L-L-E, Smithville. One word, no space, Smithville. Smithville is in the Niagara, closer to the Niagara area. It's about 30 minutes away from Welland, where I live. If you're in St. Catharines, roughly 30 minutes. If you're from the Toronto area, I would rather recommend Lindsay to you. Lindsay will probably be my best option. Lindsay and Orangeville, if you're in the Toronto area, be heading there. If you're towards Niagara, you want to be heading towards Smithville, all right? So easy, so easy to pass a road test in Smithville. It is very quiet. Remember what they have in common, very quiet. Their road networks are not too busy because the population in those cities or towns are very small. There is not so much pressure, and if you just do your things well and you prepare, you should pass. What I recommend is, even if you are the most experienced driver, give yourself a couple of days from the time you book your test to practice. I find that a lot of people come here with a lot of, I think I will pass without anybody examining me. No problem. When you finish and you fail, come back and watch me here smile. I told you, right? I said you fail. You think you know? It's not about your driving experience. It's about whether you understand the rules of driving here in Canada. Nobody gives a hoot to your driving experience. All they care about is that you are doing everything according to Canadian rules. They are going to mark you as if they are marking your English grammar in English language test. Are you speaking good English or you are speaking English? That's how the examiner is going to mark you. Come here and say, I've been driving for 30 years. All the people ahead who told me I've been driving for 20 years. I used to be a truck driver in my country. I have been driving for 45 years before even this country was formed. All the people that I know who spoke that language, they all failed though. I'm telling you, when you come here, have humility. Get a qualified instructor, qualified. Pay the money, whether it's 1, 2, 3 hours. Let them take you on the road. Familiarize yourself with the expectations. Don't come here and think you know. If you also have friends who are generous with their cars and their time, and they can take you on the road, use a bit of wisdom to ask them if they can. Don't be a parasite who tell them to take you on the road without you providing the fuel. Even if they don't take anything from you, use your common sense and buy fuel for the car that they are using so that they can avail themselves the next time you ask them for such favor. Some of you will take from people without having the wisdom to say, what can I do to compensate for the person's time and their car? Some of our friends are very experienced, even though they may not be driving instructors. They may be generous, they may take you on the road. They are familiar with the expectations of taking a road test. They could take you on the road and help you. Remember, if you think the person doesn't know their stuff, use a qualified driving instructor. I have assisted many of our brothers to get their license here. If you don't believe me, just go and look for my YouTube channel called Road Test Buddy. Road Test Buddy. Buddy is spelled B-U-D-D-Y. That's my channel. I created it with the intention of making videos to educate people on how to pass their road test. Go and watch it for free and enjoy and see how it has blessed and transformed people's life for the last how many years. Road Test Buddy. Go check that channel out. By the way, I no longer help people because I've just been too busy. So please don't ask me if I can take you on the road. Yours truly is just too busy. I'm just too busy, overly occupied. So I stopped. But I've taken so many people, prepared so many people, and they passed. If you know anybody who knows me, ask them about Choco Melonia. They will tell you, this guy you see was the one who actually probably taught me how to even drive in Canada. All right? So Smithville, Orangeville, Lindsay, Ontario, they are my top favorite places for you to pass if you live in Southern Ontario. Now, this does not mean that there are not other places that are also easier. These are the ones I know. For now, if you've taken your road test in an area which was so easy, relaxing, friendly examiners, please post the names down there so people can learn. If I have an option, I definitely will not do my road test in St. Catharines in Niagara because it is quite a very busy place. Unless you have prepared yourself well, taking multiple practice, then you take it there. I won't take my road test in the Toronto, North York area or Brampton, super busy areas with so many crazy drivers on the road that will scare the heck out of you and make you fail your test. Remember, if you came here with the intention of being smart, to make some money, to pay your fees, or to sort yourself out, then bringing that license is a serious plus. You're watching me right now, you haven't gotten an admission, you haven't gotten your visa, so you're wondering, why should I take this guy serious? Don't worry. Hopefully next year your visa will come in and you would have said, had I known. Go and get your local driving license wherever you live in, whether you are traveling or not. It's a necessity. Driving is a serious necessity. Go and get that license. If you don't know how to drive, get somebody to start teaching you how to drive in your home country, where it is cheaper to learn how to drive than in Canada. The average person will spend over $3,000 to learn how to drive if they are new drivers. If they are new drivers, you will spend close to $3,000. Oh yes, notice what I said, the average person, a person who is super quick in learning, could spend close to $1,000 to learn how to drive. You see it? So if you know you are a slow learner and you need a lot of patience for somebody to teach you how to drive, and you have zero skill, when you come into this country, just remember, it could cost you close to $3,000. There is a Pakistani lady who spent over $3,000 in Mississauga just trying to learn how to drive. And throughout the experience, she kept changing driving instructor because she couldn't find the one person who would be patient and kind and sober without yelling at her and teach her how to drive. Some of the instructors you find here are some of the horrible instructors you find. You don't know their job. Some of them are just doing it for the money. So if you don't find the right, especially if you're a woman watching me right now, and you don't get lucky to get a very sober, patient teacher. Some of them, by the time they finish teaching you, they would have called you animal names. So some of them, your own husband, by the time they finish teaching you, you would have gotten insults on top. So take advantage as you are in your home countries and learn them. Get your license. Don't say, I'm waiting to get my US visa. You come back and thank me and say, this talkative of a content creator was the one who gave me the best advice. I wish you all the best. And remember, your driving license is a serious asset. The Indians who are paying their school fees and going to school, most of them are doing skip the dish. Because that one, them don't say the hours where they go fire for there. You know, that they reflect for the system. You see them doing unlimited weekends. These guys are just, watch around. When you come here, just go around and see. The people who are delivering the food to you, who are they? Indians or which people? See, these guys are smart. Follow who know road. Make sure you are liking this video. Drop your comments as well. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.